Did you know that the stomach can hold up to 4 liters of food and can extend nearly all the way to the pelvis? If not, then you must be curious to know the histology of the stomach and how it can extend this much. Welcome to sqadia.com, where we would learn about histology of stomach today. Before getting into the details, let us recall the simple concept of what is a stomach. So basically, a stomach is a J-shaped muscular bag-like organ. Just as we put our stuff in our bags, our stomach performs the same function as it stores our food in it. In order to perform the function of partial digestion of food, which is the most important function of stomach, it has other 2 major functions. One is mixing of food by secretion of enzymes, and the other is temporary storage of food, after which the food eventually goes into the duodenum, the first part of small intestine where the complete digestion takes place. Now, we will first take a look on the surface anatomy of the stomach before studying its microscopic features. So here we have a diagram of stomach. The first anatomical part of stomach we see here is fundus, which is a dome-shaped part. Then we have the central region of the stomach, the body. Then we have the pyloric antrum, which is opening to the body of stomach. And so we have the pyloric canal, which is the opening to the duodenum. In addition, we have a constricted ring on the upper side of stomach called as sqadia. Now, as we have viewed the microscopic layers of stomach, we will study each one of them in detail. Firstly, we have an innermost layer of stomach called as mucosa. The mucosal layer is of prime importance because it contains many distinguishing features. The second layer is the submucosa. The third layer is muscularis externa. As its name indicates, it is entirely composed of muscles. Then we have a subserosa, which is actually a part of serosa, the fifth and the outermost layer of stomach. Now let us study the mucosal layer of the stomach, which is the innermost layer of the stomach. The mucosa of the stomach is composed of surface epithelium cells, and the mucosa contains many characteristic features. The first one of them are the gastric pits. In the next phase, we have gastric glands, which are, indeed, of prime importance. Then we have a muscular as part of the mucosa, and the last one is lamina propria. We will study each feature in detail. Human body has several millions of gastric pits. Gastric pits are formed by the invaginations or the folding of mucosal cells, which are known as surface epithelium cells. They allow the glandular products to be delivered into the stomach lumen or the inside of the stomach. The second feature is gastric glands. They are located at the base of the gastric pits. Stomach glands are thus divided into 3 parts. Let's take a look on the anatomical view of stomach to locate its parts. The first glands are the principal gastric glands, located in the central region or the body of the stomach. The next part is of pyloric region, which contains the pyloric glands. The last glands are the cardiac glands, located in the portion of that constricting ring known as sqadia. Here we have our gastric cells, which are located in the tubular gastric glands. Now we have an image of gastric cells. The first one presented in purple color are our goblet cells. The next presented in pink color are our parietal cells. The last one shown in yellow color are our chief cells. Moving ahead, we will study each cell in detail. The first cells are the goblet cells. Goblet cells secretes mucus. We can easily memorize the goblet cells along with its secretion by using abbreviation GM. Its function is that it aids in digestion by lubricating the food, and it protects the stomach lining from the stomach acid and so acts as a barrier of protection. Take a look on the histological view of the goblet cell. Just like the goblet cells, the parietal cells also releases a secretion called hydrochloric acid. We can use the word pH to remember the parietal cells along with its secretion. Hydrochloric acid provides acidic medium to the stomach for its working. Another important role of hydrochloric acid is that it is a component of gastric juice, and gastric juice helps in digestion of food by mixing it, and thus the food moves towards the distal end of stomach. Okay, so let's move towards the chief cells. The chief cells secretes pepsin in its inactivated form called as pepsinogen. We can memorize them by an abbreviation. PC. Pepsin aids in protein digestion by breaking the complex protein molecules into simpler amino acids. Let's take a look on the histological picture of parietal cells. Here we have an interesting fact that it takes only 7 seconds approximately when all this digestion process takes place. We have focused on a part of stomach where we have lamina propria and lamina muscularis of mucosa. Muscularis mucosa is a thin, smooth muscle layer which aids in movement of food. We also have lamina propria, which is made up of connective tissues, which is rich in blood vessels and lymphatics, and provides nutrition to layers of stomach. Now we have the second layer of stomach known as submucosa. Here we have the histological view of the submucosa. One important structure we will discuss here is of rugae, which is formed by the invaginations or folding of the submucosa and the mucosa. In this anatomical view of the stomach, we have rugae. It provides expansion of the stomach after the consumption of food, as stomach is an expanded organ, and it expands after eating. Moving ahead, we will study the third layer of stomach called as muscularis externa, the third layer of the stomach. As its name indicates, it is composed entirely of smooth muscles layer. They are arranged in transverse manner. The first we have is inner oblique muscles. In the midsection, we have middle circular layer. The last one is the outer longitudinal muscle layer. It provides relaxation and contraction movements in an alternate manner and thus helps in peristaltic movements, which brings the food from the esophagus into the stomach. Stomach also has plexus known as Meissner's plexus. Before studying it, we will see what is a plexus. A plexus is a branch of nerves connected together. Meissner's plexus is located in the submucosal or second layer of the stomach. It performs function of controlling secretions of the gastrointestinal tract. Here we have an image, and in the submucosal area, the Meissner's plexus is located. Just like the Meissner's plexus, stomach also has myenteric plexus. So myenteric plexus, also known as Auerbach's plexus, is located in the third layer of stomach, which is muscularis externa. It helps to regulate the peristaltic movements by involvement of inner oblique and middle circular muscles. Here we have an anatomical picture where muscularis externa is present, and in the muscularis externa, we have the myenteric plexus. Then we have a sub-layer of serosa known as subserosa. The subserosa contains the supporting tissues for the serosa, which is the outermost layer of stomach. We have a microscopic view of subserosa containing connective tissues. Now let's make our way towards the end. We have the last layer of stomach called as serosa. It is the outermost layer of stomach. It wraps around the stomach in a manner of confined boundary, or we can simply say that it's the outer coat of stomach. And here is the histological view of the outermost layer, serosa.